Somebody said I had a very sloppy or dirty vehicle. What do they know? What do they know? This is my toolbox, man. There's pine needles on my... There's no pine trees around here. Cleaner? No. No. Oh well. I'm gonna go cut some grass today. It's a little bit warm in here, but hopefully it's... There's a branch all the way over there. How does the branch go from there all the way over there? It's like, I'm leaving! And it just like goes all the way over there. Gotta watch out. Just a little bit bouncy down my road from all that rain we got there. Yesterday morning, I had to almost put the heat on in the car. And I was sweating my ass off by the afternoon. It's like bizarre. Today I got some grass cut, but I had to wait a little bit later. I'm sure I got my cloth. Yeah, I have to wait. It's probably still a little bit early yet because I always want to make sure it's dry when I cut it so there's less raking. More raking means more money for me, but there's also... I have more than one place to do today, so... Yeah. That tree is going to fall one day. So, yeah, so yesterday I was talking all about my old band, Syndicate. I must have watched that video. Syndicate, first gig live, that bird? I'll find that bird. Yeah, first gig live, Ottawa, 1995. But my bass player Dave, I think he pulled down the video because whatever decoder he used, software he used to take it from VHS to digital, and then from the digital going onto YouTube, the audio was out of sync. So, and it was out of sync by quite a bit. So he didn't like that at all. I was just happy to hear it and see it. Like I can live with it the way it is, even in the rough form. But it wasn't good enough for him, so he's going to try to spruce it up a bit on that. But everybody's out in the park. That's good. Yeah, it's like I've been doing a lot of thinking about that night. You know, like of who was there, around what time we played it. You know, like so I know it was in the spring. I mean, it's like 30 years ago, right? Well, technically 29 years ago. And it's like there's a lot of details that I don't remember. You know, like what were all the names of the songs? After listening to some of the names came back and stuff like that. And in some of the songs I just remembered right out the get-go. It's like, oh, you know, but the riffs and stuff like that. Again, too bad the audio wasn't better because the second last song called Delusions of Grandeur, when you hear the drummer's double bass kicking in and you hear my guitar going along with it, it's so fast. It was just like that on my guitar pick, right? But very Randy Rhoads, just like right? And while the bass player's going, so it's like the speed level of it is like, it doesn't sound like it's as fast as it is, but I'm listening to the beats, it's like I'm playing along with the double bass, but I think I'm doing 16th notes over the double bass, and the double bass is playing pretty damn fast. And it's like, you had the bass player at one tempo, locked in with the double bass, so that punches out the double bass drum, right? And then you had water here today. Better slow down got together. It was gigging season, but they weren't fully ready to go, and they needed a bit of a time filler, so they asked us. And I can't remember if he called me or if he called Scott, the drummer. But I think it was he called Scott. Scott was like, "Yeah, guys, I got us a gig. I know we're not quite ready yet, but you know, and we weren't fully ready. I mean, like I say, I could critique the show honestly, like, okay, yeah, but you got a taste of us in the raw of what we were going to become. Like, if you would have heard our last show, I'm sure our last show was 100 times better than our first show, right? And had we played both sober, I can imagine we would have been completely stunningly amazing. But listening to the songs, listening to the key changes, listening to like how the songs were arranged and the energy levels, I'm like, I don't really remember that many bands watching like local bands play anything near what we were playing. Like, not saying that we were the best or like that, but like that kind of heavy, grungy, thrashish. Like, it sounds a lot more grunge on the camera, but I know, like, you'll hear Mike break into a song. I forget what the name of the song was, but like how Savage's guitar sounded. My guitar sounded pretty savage as well. We did have that kind of Kongzilla kind of sound where it's like the riffs pound you in the head. You know what I mean? It peels the paint off the wall, but the riffs pound you in the head. So we were heavy. We were very heavy, and yeah, it's like nobody else was playing to that level. You know, with all these progressive, like, we were pretty progressive for the time, for a, if you want to call it an amateur band or whatever. But the songwriting was really good, you know. And I'd like to see if Dave has all the lyrics or something. Or I know I quit the band before they went into the studio, or they went into the studio and I couldn't make it. And it was right after that I quit the band, just because I couldn't keep up with working 7 days a week, the insane amount of hours. I was getting extra hours at work because people were getting fired because of, you know, not showing up and shit like that. So I was too burnt out, right? And musician burnout, I just saw another video on it. It's a good topic. It's one of those things that you know, you have to, pretty much everything in life you have to know how to police yourself, right? But the thing is that I was suffering musician burnout, and that's why I threw in the towel. I needed a break. But what I should have done was, and then the band fell apart not that long after. So we weren't together long, but that was probably the band I gigged with the most. The second band that I gigged with the most was the previous band called Stone Angel, or Reckless Angel. And we were good, but we didn't have any originals. So what you saw with Syndicate was pretty much almost all originals. It's just we threw in a couple of covers just so we wouldn't get tossed out of the bar. You know what I mean? Because bar owners were almost explicitly against you playing originals because they were afraid, you know, like Sepultura, a Sepultura band would walk in and then they'd lose all their customers, right? Where our songs, they were good, you know, like they were driving good. Like, there's a lot you don't see on the camera. Like, there were people dancing, but the dance floor was off to the side, right? So there was people headbanging, like having a really great time and stuff like that. But you don't see that on the camera, so it looks like we're playing to an empty audience, right? But we weren't. And there was, you know, probably 50, 80